All right, folks, welcome back to the channel. Hope everyone's doing well. Thanks so much for watching. In this video, I'm going to share with you my approach for targeting fall crappie. During the fall, the water continuing to change can present somewhat of a challenge on finding the fish, since the fish are constantly adjusting and readjusting due to the change in water temperature. So how do we find the fish during the fall? Stay with me and I'll show you how I do it.
Right on top of the tree. There's one. There's a good one to get out right. Afternoon started. Come on up here, fella. That's a decent fish. Come here. That's a decent fish. Well, folks, thanks so much for joining us today. Welcome back to the channel. Hope everyone's doing well. It's a beautiful fall afternoon here in Southwest Ohio, and today we're fishing Cedar Creek Lake, and we're targeting fall transition crappie. And what I thought I'd do is put together a quick video to show you what I look for this time of year. It can be a bit tough getting a beat on the fish during the transition period. The water's actively changing. It's actually turning over, what we call the fall turnover, and it can be a little bit tough finding them. So I thought I'd just show you a few key things that I look for. We're looking for the fish that'll help you isolate them and stay on top of them during the fall transition time. So stay with me, it should be fun. Let's get after it. There's a good one right there. That one feels nice. That one feels pretty nice. Come on up here, boy. Oh my gosh, this is a good one. That's a good one here. All right, not too bad. Not too bad. Come here, fella. I do a little bit of boat control here because of the wind. All right, guys, so I mentioned that there's a few key things that I look for this time of year when chasing crappie during the transition time. One is shad. There has to be some shad in the area. Number two is a shallow to steep, steeply egressed contour, and I'll explain what that means. Structure, and if at all possible, a creek channel. So those four things: shad, a patch of water that has a steeply egressed contour, structure, and if at all possible, next to a creek channel. And I'll explain how those things can work synergistically together to help you stay on top of the fish this time of year. But first, let's get another fish on a boat. There's one. A little small one there. I mean, a little fella. A little small black crappie. All right, guys, let's talk about those four things that help us find a fish this time of year. The shad are absolutely critical. If there's no shad in the area, we just simply don't fish. And we want to have structure in the area as well. The reason the shad are so important is because this time of year, during the fall turnover, the water is actively cooling off and it's triggering the fish to feed more aggressively to store up fuel for the winter months. And so if there's shad, we look for a structure in the area because it not only provides protection for the crappie, but it allows them to stage in the structure and ambush shad as they're passing through. So shad and structure, very, very important. Now, you might notice, and I'll turn the boat around here so you can see, there's a buoy out in the middle of the water right there. Now, the buoy is important because it's helping me to mark a tree that's in 60 foot of water. And so basically we're using that structure to our advantage right now. The top of that tree is about 20 feet. We're fishing at about 16 feet because the crappie are in the top of that tree, and there's shad in the area as well. So we're fishing below the shad, but above the treetop, presenting to the crappie, and we're just using shad imitation plastics to get that job done today, to get the fish in the boat. So let's get some more fish in the boat. But that's how those two things work together: the shad and the structure to help you stay on the fish this time of year. And I will also explain to you why the creek channel and the water contour lay of the area that you're fishing in is also very important as well. But let's get some more fish in the boat. There's one. There's another one. Come here, fella. Yeah. A little bit small. I'll get him back in. But what we're doing is we're just fishing the top of that tree on the downwind side of it, down current side of it, which is where the crappie are staging right now to ambush the shad. And we're just throwing shad imitation plastics right now to get them to bite. That's pretty much the ticket. Which leads me to my next, the next element, which is a steeply egressed contour of water from shallow to deep. That buoy is in about 60 feet of water, and there's a tree that's standing up, the top of which is in about, stand up to about 20 feet, so it's about 40 feet of tree, basically. I mean, there's fish at different parts of the tree. Well, the fish that we're fishing for are in the top of that tree. And the reason that is so very important is because behind us is a bay that shallows out, and as the water temperature cools and the shad push into that bay, the crappie follow them. But when we have dramatic changes in water temperature, for instance, that's caused by a low pressure front or a different front set of moving, or as we move closer into the winter season, sometimes those fish will push out. If it gets a little bit too cold too fast, or the shad push out, they'll push out and stage in these bays, and that's what's happened over the last couple of days. I'm fishing in an area right now that has some crappie in the top of a tree. They've pushed out of that shallower bay into some of this deeper water, and they'll go back in. But if you've got an area that offers a steeply egressed contour with some structure that has some shad in it, you can pinpoint it from time to time throughout the transition period, and oftentimes you'll find fish there. And the reason that it's very important for a creek channel to be nearby is because, well, they use the creek channel as like a super highway to get to and from different parts of the lake. So if you've got those four things working for you on the body of water that you fish, you absolutely want to take advantage of it. But of the four things that I mentioned, critical are the shad and the structure. So hopefully that helps. Let's get some more fish in the boat. All right, there's a good one right there. That one feels real nice. Oh yeah, that feels real good. That's a good fish. That is a good fish. That's what I'm talking about. You can sit here once you find them and catch fish like this in a hurry. And so this is one of the reasons why I love to fish in patches of water that have a steeply egressed contour, but next to a cove. The crappie will push back in that cove, but then they will also push back out and stage in this tall timber in very, very deep water, and then they'll push back in again. And you just catch them and anticipate them and head them off in the path, whether they're going or coming. And as long as you're looking for the critical elements, their structure and shad, you can catch fish like this and bigger and fill your ice chest up in a hurry. So hopefully some of these tips are helping you guys out, but let's get some more fish. There's one. Decent one. Not bad. Get in the box, boy. There's one. Decent one for the night. Not bad. Not bad. So guys, we're going to go ahead and stop recording here. It's getting a little bit late, but hopefully some of the tips that I shared with you today will help you to be able to go out and put together an approach to fishing for crappie during the fall on your lake. If you got any questions or comments, leave me a question on the feed, and I'll get back to you whenever I can or as soon as I can. But otherwise, we'll see you next time, and thanks so much for watching.
All right, folks, thanks again for joining us today. Hopefully some of these tips and strategies I share with you today in targeting fall crappie will help you go out and be more successful on the water in targeting fish during this transition period. If you're enjoying the content, we would love to have you as a subscriber. Your subscription helps support the channel, and we appreciate you very, very, very much. Again, thanks so much for joining us today. We had a fun time out there. Come back and join us again for some more episodes. We got much, much more great content to come. Go out, get a line in the water, guys. Enjoy yourself fishing, and we'll see you along the way.